Hi, hi. Very good evening. Hope you're all doing fine. So it's already 7:40. Yeah. So today this is our ninth live session. So the topic for discussion today is like how to design your study area or study room in order to enhance preparation, right? So in regard to this, I have taken a small survey. I just interacted with my students yesterday, and I got pretty strange answers, right? And also I'll be sharing my personal experience while like how I followed, like how my study room used to be, like when I was preparing, when I prepared way back in 2012 and 13, right? So I'll just share the details, and of course you can always share your opinions as well. And before starting, I would like to just like how do we justify this topic which is being put for discussion today? You might wonder like how does it really help us in enhancing our preparation, in the sense like what, like no matter how the study room is, like how does it really matter if you are focused and if you are really having that willpower to give you 100%? See, if it's for 1 week or 10 days, for example, if you have exams in 1 week or 10 days, then I don't think it's going to play a major role, the topic which we are going to discuss today. But once you have this elaborate way of preparation, once you have a time like 5 months, 6 months, or 1 year, when you're trying to prepare in an extended manner for an extended duration of time, then obviously we need to consider the fact that the physical environment where we are studying also plays a key role. Because just imagine yourself sitting in a room every day for months together and studying, and how do you feel? Obviously, see, at the end of week or 2 weeks you'll obviously feel passivated, right? So there will be a lot of passivation, and that really influences and impacts our preparation negatively. And this I'm telling you based on my personal experience, and also based on the inputs I get from my students as well as from my friends as well, right? So that's the reason why I have chosen this topic, and this topic I'm planning to discuss for the past 1 month or so, but now I got the time and opportunity to discuss over this, right? So it's not that it's insignificant, like the physical environment which we are studying. If it's like, for example, you have an exam next month. When I was interacting with my final year students, they said, sir, it doesn't matter how the physical environment is as long as we're focused. What they said is absolutely right. But when do we study in our final year? Usually 1 week before, 15 days before, or 1 month before, right? So in such circumstances, obviously the physical environment is going to be ineffective or insignificant. But as I said, when you have this extended preparation time, when you're planning to prepare consistently on a daily basis for months and even years together, obviously 10 months to 1 year or even 2 years, if you are in final year, if you are in third year, right, you have this extended preparation, right? So in such circumstances, obviously the design or the physical environment of your study room plays a key role in affecting your preparation positively, right? So that's how I would like to justify this weekend's topic, right? So the topic for discussion is designing study room for sake of enhancing your preparation, right? So I'll just share a few valid points, and then, as I said, if you have anything to say, you can comment, and your suggestions are always welcome, right? So before going, we just see, I think we got some comments. Yeah, Apu, good evening. Yeah, good evening, Apu. Kumari, yeah, hi Kumari, good evening. Yeah, I saw your mail previously, Kumari, like you had some question, right? So you can post that, I'll reply you before concluding this session, right? So just give me 1 second. I'm having this very bad throat infection. Maybe it's about to start. That's the reason why I'm having some green tea along with me. So you guys also can, I mean, the climate here is very cool as well. In our area it's raining, so I think the best way to spend weekend is with your loved ones or with activities which you really love, and by having something warm in the sense, something which is hot, that also gives you some kind of a relief, right? Isn't it? Yeah, Abhishek and Ramya, yeah, good evening, very good evening. Yeah, so I'll straight away go into the topic, right? So when you're considering when you're planning for preparation, yeah, Sairaj, hi Sairaj, good to see you here. Yeah, a very good evening. A very good evening, everyone. Right. So, as I said, the topic today's topic for discussion is designing a study room for enhancing your preparation. So, when you're studying, see there are certain elements physically which really impact your preparation. For example, the lighting. For example, where you're sitting. And like how isolated you stay, like would you like to prefer to stay isolated, or would you like to have some company so that you can share what you're studying? Like we have a lot many factors, right? So I'll just share few things and see how well you can incorporate them in your preparation on day-to-day basis in order to enhance your preparation, right? So the first one which I would like to share is adequate lighting. So usually we have this tendency, like few prefer to study in areas where the lighting is low, whereas few, especially people like me, we prefer studying in areas where there is a very bright lighting. That's my personal choice. And also, science says that usually when we are studying we should have adequate light, a bright light, because that bright light is essential in order to keep sleep away from us. In the sense, when you're working or when you're studying in a dark area, for example, take for example theory classes. So usually when all lights are switched off and projector is switched on, right, we have very low lighting, then obviously we have this tendency to sleep. That's body's natural physiological mechanism, where under dark areas or under low light areas, melatonin, right, a pigment which is produced in pineal gland, it is produced in more quantities, and that leads to sleep. And I have written some information regard to that, because whatever we say, it should have a scientific backing. It shouldn't be like I'm just saying it out of experience. Yes, experience obviously counts, but when you have a sound scientific background, like when you have a proper reference, then obviously whatever you talk will be more valid comparatively, right? So melatonin, which is produced by pineal gland at night, usually it is produced at night, right? So when it's dark, we have this more synthesis or production of melatonin, and this regulates our sleep and wake cycle. Okay, and melatonin plays a key role in lowering blood pressure, glucose levels, as well as body temperature. So it's a key physiological response responsible for restful sleep. So we have two things to learn from this statement. So it means when you're sleeping or when you intend to sleep, the room has to be darker. No mobiles, no smartphones, no electronic gadgets, and no dark lighting, right? So because that adversely affects the synthesis of melatonin. Whereas when you're studying, when you're fully awake, when you feel like you should focus and study, then obviously there has to be bright light. So that's a scientific scientific proof or background which I wanted to share with you, right, in order to justify what I'm saying, right? So adequate lighting is a prerequisite, the first factor, right? And second, like when you are studying, like previously when I used to prepare, like when we tend to prepare for extended duration of time, it's better if we have something along with us, in the sense something to eat or drink, something to snack and drink intermittently, right? So like you can have, for example, a water bottle to prevent dehydration, or maybe some energy drinks, or I would say not energy drinks exactly, because again they'll have some negative influence on your health, right? This Red Bull and all these energy drinks, they're not really good for our health physiologically, right, on long term. Once in a while, that's fine. So maybe a tea, coffee, or even green tea. My personal choice would be green tea, right? So but you need to have someone to provide you that, or you can have a kettle, right? So like having some kind of snack item also helps you to take intermittent breaks, right? So you should have a facility or provision for arrangement of those things as well, right? So it can be either water, right? It can be even energy drinks like tea, coffee, or even a green tea, right? So that's another factor which I wanted to share, right? And when you're studying, the third factor, like what kind of area do you prefer? Like, do you sit on the floor and study, or it depends on your personal choice, right? Because I feel comfortable sitting on floor with my back resting on a wall, and then having few books and notes along with me, right? But a few others might prefer a table and chair, right? So it all depends on personal choice. So ergonomic design of how you sit, like ergonomic design in the sense, no matter how you sit, it should be comfortable without taking toll on your health, right, on your physical health. So study table and chair should have ergonomic design. It should enhance, it should support your preparation, rather than, like, if you sit in awkward position, obviously you feel tired soon, right? For example, when I spoke to a few of my students, they said like they have a habit of sitting uh, on what you call cot or bed and study. See, when you have this tendency to sit on a bed and study, then obviously there is a chance that you might feel like sleeping, right? So it all depends, right? If you're really comfortable, then you can go ahead, but sitting on bed, I wouldn't personally prefer, right? Because you have the drawback of keeping your books aside and sleeping, and moreover it's not convenient ergonomically designed for us to sit and study over a bed, right? So that's another thing I wanted to share, like, and when you're trying to study on floor, it's better you have a mat, right? So having a mat, and then make sure that your back is resting on the wall, right? So that supports you, right? And you will not feel tired sooner, right? So keep this in mind. And during night time, like when I used to study, like during night time, you should also have a provision of a lamp, a bright lamp, along with the natural light if possible, or a tube light, right? So artificial lighting also is very important, and it should always have a provision for a artificial lamp, or because if in case there is power cut, or if in case there is inadequate lighting from the tube light or from the ceiling light, then obviously these things will help you in providing a bright light, right? And along with that, so when you're sitting, for example, if I'm sitting here, if this is my table and these are my books, right? So I should have my notes and pen, right? So along with that, I should have all my textbooks arranged in the vicinity or in an accessible area, so that it will be easy for me to grab any textbook or any notes for that matter, right? So what I mean to say is, here arrangement of books is very essential, right? In your study room, make sure that you have all your books arranged neatly in an order, so that you feel like picking up at random. It shouldn't be a task, or it shouldn't be a difficult task for you to pick up any book at random. They should be in accessible area, and you should feel convenient to pick up any book and to place it and to refer it, and to write down whatever important in your given notes, right? So that's another important factor which I wanted to share. So in your study room, make sure that there is a provision for arrangement of your books in an orderly fashion, right? And obviously notes, color pens, right? So all these things I need not really emphasize, right? And also if you prefer, like, because most of us prefer to have a watch, right? Either a watch or a clock alongside with you, because knowing the time really helps us to keep in check all the unnecessary things away, right? So when you have time, then obviously you will have an opportunity to complete off your schedule time to time, right? So having a watch obviously helps you in dividing your time and managing your time efficiently, right? It can be either in a form of a wristwatch or a table watch or table clock or whatever it is, right? So just keep that in mind as well. And most importantly, keep mobiles or smartphones away when you're preparing. This I strictly followed during my preparation, because the moment you have a smartphone with you, then there is a greater chance you feel like, yes, I can control, you feel like, yes, I can resist myself from looking at all the messages and all. But believe me, most of us are addicted to our smartphones, right? So the moment you get a message, you feel like you should open it, right? And so you'll have the driving force again that will act as a source of distraction. So try to keep all distraction elements away, right, including your friends. If you feel like you're getting distracted, if you feel like you can do better alone, right? So solitude, then obviously you should keep those things away, right? So obviously smartphones, keep them away, right? They shouldn't be along with you, right? If you can't afford a clock, or if you can't afford a watch, don't say that you can't afford, right? So it costs nothing. So don't say that you're using smartphone for sake of clock or watch, right? You can of course afford those small items and keep your watch away, keep your smartphone away from you, right? So that you'll have you'll have a chance to focus on what you're studying at peace without any distraction, right? Believe me, just follow it and it will be wonderful, right? Initially you'll have you'll struggle a lot keeping your mobiles away, but gradually you'll realize its importance, and then once you get used to it, you'll just follow it, right, seamlessly. And as most of my students said, even I personally prefer an isolated place, in the sense I feel like I should be alone in an area where I'm studying, so that I will not have much distraction. So you can obviously choose your own personal room, or you can even choose a library, for example. So library, again, you have this chance of distraction, right? In that case you can avoid library. But if you feel like your library is being maintained very well, like no one distracts you and everyone maintains absolute silence, then obviously the library in your college is the best place for you to continue your preparation, and along with that you can even continue your preparation in your room as well, right? So that you'll have a chance for you to spend a time for yourself rather than getting distracted by someone or somebody, right? And also make sure that when you choose a study area, it should have minimal distraction from the outside environment, right? So I just wanted to highlight one important point here. Sitting alone is fine, but sitting at the same place continuously or throughout the day, or weeks together, it will have a kind of passivating effect, as I discussed in the first part of this video, right? So to overcome that, what we do, the best way I try to motivate myself, or I try to just keep myself on track, is by changing places. This I feel very, very important. Sitting in the same place, for example, if I am sitting here, right? So if I am studying in this place continuously, obviously the physical environment here will have some kind of negativity, in the sense it's not the physical environment, it's our perception, right? So we feel passivated, obviously, when you are sitting in the same room for hours together or weeks together, right? So the best thing to overcome this passivating effect is change places. If, for example, if this is my house, I can change my place. I can sit here for some time, I can sit in a separate isolated room for some time, or I can sit on terrace for some time, or I can go to college library if it is near to you, right? You can go to the library, spend some time. And I personally followed these things. Like I used to study in my house, in my room, in my terrace, and also in my professor's clinic. So my professor was generous enough to offer me a space in his clinic, really. And I used to go intentionally there, because he used to motivate me simultaneously, right? So it's like a double bonanza for me. He used to motivate me, and simultaneously, because of some space over there, so I used to go there, and I used to feel like, since I have come here, I shouldn't waste my time and I should focus on my preparation, right? So I used to do that. I used to just not restrict myself at a place. I used to wander here and there, and that used to keep me motivated constantly. So I had no way of wasting my time. If you're traveling from one place to another, you cannot consider it as a waste of time. In fact, that's like, you can take it as a break or relief, right? So my advice to all of you is this, I feel personally very important. You make sure that you don't sit at a single place and continue preparation throughout, right? If you're comfortable at one place, you can study there at majority of your time, for most of the time, right? But if you feel like you're having this passivating effect, then obviously you shift your places, and that makes a huge difference, right? You can use your college library, your balcony, or if you're in your house, your personal room, your hall, dining table, terrace, any place where you have minimal distraction, right? Just keep that in mind. Yeah. And along with that, I would like to share a few other things, like timetable, flowchart, study material, right? So whatever things, see, when I was interacting with few students, and even I personally have this habit of sticking quotes, motivational quotes on the walls, right? I've previously shown you in one of the live sessions. I've turned my cam and shown you, right? In my house I have this habit of sticking important quotes or even notes, right? I used to even stick the analgesics and antibiotics which are contraindicated in pregnancy or which are indicated in pregnancy, right? I have this habit, and I got this habit from my father. So he has this habit of sticking quotes on walls, so that like it acts as a source of positivity, right? So we're surrounded in a world of negativity, right? No matter you open up anything, any news channel, any newspaper, any social media, you have a lot of negativity, right? So should try to keep away from that as much as possible. So by following these small things, right, by sticking a small positive quote, by sticking some notes, by sticking your study schedule, by seeing something which gives you a sense of satisfaction and positivity, then that has to be done. And along with that, like when I was discussing with my students, one of them said like, sir, when I feel bored, I call my parents or I call my friends, right? So it all depends, right? So those things which give you happiness should be followed during the time of your preparation, during your breaks, or see that keeps you really motivated, right? So here I would like to highlight upon the fact that if you have a habit of writing notes or flow charts or designing your own timetable, then it's better you design them and stick on the walls in an area where you're studying, because that keeps you self motivated, right? That's very important. And that's what I just wrote here also. Inspiration quotes on walls, yes, that would be better, and that's my personal choice as well. And also surround yourself with positive atmosphere. That's the key. Surround yourself with positivity, right? And loud study habit. So a few students said like, I don't have this. I used to have this habit way back 10 years ago when I was in +1 and +2, but now I lost that. But if you have this habit of studying loud, so obviously you should be sitting alone, because or else it acts as a source of distraction for others, right? Moreover, you will not feel convenient when others are along with you, and if you keep on studying loud. So when you have the habit of studying loud, then sitting isolated and having that courtesy for our friends would obviously help themselves as well as would help us when we are preparing, right? Just keep that in mind. And good companion for recitation and discussion. Obviously, like some of us feel like we should have a companion or a best friend where we can explain him what we have learned, and we can learn that way. Most of us learn that way by explaining what we learned or by listening to what they have learned, right? So that kind of reciprocation would also help you in enhancing your preparation, right? So I just wanted to add these points also in this particular live session, right? And as I said, sight of bed encourages us to sleep. So make sure that there is no bed or cot in your study room, because as I said, the sight of bed itself will encourage you to sleep, right? So just keep that in mind, right? So better remove. I removed bed from my room when I was preparing. I just removed bed. And then I removed it, and I used to sit on the floor. I used to place a mat or a cot, and I used to sit on the floor, right? So that's the best way in which I used to overcome. When you can't avoid an addiction, or when you can't avoid a distraction, just try to eliminate that from yourself, or eliminate that from your line of sight, right? So that's the best way in which you can really control yourself and do well comparatively. And also I wanted to add up this important relevant point pertaining to the physical environment, in the sense, yeah, we're getting lot many comments. I'll answer these comments soon. So I'll be just completing off the points which I wanted to share, and then I'll be coming back to you guys, right? Yeah. So regarding ventilation, I feel like we should have adequate ventilation, right? So adequate ventilation, and obviously the temperature and all, that's your individual choice. But I feel when you have this proper ventilation, then you will have scope for a more healthy way of preparing, right? So make sure that you have adequate ventilation in your study area, right? And as I said, food, snacks, or any drinks alongside with you would also help, right? But it doesn't mean that you should keep on eating at the expense of studying. Like during break time, they would provide you the best possible relief, right? Yeah. And when I was discussing with my students, one of them said like they would like to face the wall when they're studying, right? So if you feel like you cannot get an isolated place, see, if you're in hostel or if you're staying in library, so you'll have this difficulty of finding an isolated place, right? So in such cases, the best thing which I feel is, as told by my student, is facing the wall to avoid distraction, right? I should face the wall and study so that I'll not have that kind of distraction, at least visually, right? So that I feel is very important and another valid point, right? And relax intermittently by listening to your favorite songs, right? So I feel that's equally very important, right? So if you have an iPod, or if you have, you all have smartphones, right? So earplugs, you have this earpieces, right? So earpieces, and you can listen to music, your favorite music intermittently or during break time. So you should have provision to listen to your music if at all you have this tendency to enjoy the music, right? So I feel delighted whenever I listen to my favorite track. Obviously most of us do feel the same, right? So listening to our favorite music tracks, so obviously that acts as a source of energy, right? So you should have provision to listen to music as well, right? So most of us have smartphones and these earphones, what do you call, I'm not getting the name. Earphones, yeah, you have these wires which you plug into the ear, right? What do you call them? I'm not getting the name. Okay, I'll call them as earpiece, right? So those earpieces, right? So loud music again will act as a source of distraction for others, right? So make sure that you listen to music intermittently, right? And also, yeah, I just wanted to conclude with few of most important features which I feel personally are very important. The room has to be clean and tidy, because there are studies which show that few people prefer a neat and tidy room, because when the room is neat and tidy, you feel that psychological relief. This is science, and even I personally have this problem, in the sense I personally have this tendency, when the area or place where I stay or where I study, for example where I stay, it has to be neat and tidy, or else I feel distracted. I feel that psychological unease, right? So to overcome that, I just arrange things haphazardly. I mean, not just perfectly, but at least haphazardly, so that it's not messy. So having a neat and tidy room also gives you that psychological relief. Again, that will have a positive impact, right? So all that we're trying to discuss here is to make sure that you have that positive influence on your preparation. It's not that you have to follow these things, right? So it's based on experience, it's based on numerous studies, it's based on various feedback given by various other students as well, right? So you can definitely rely upon this, and you have your own criteria, right? You can even follow them as well, right? And yeah, so obviously to have this kind of relief, as most of my students said, most of my students mentioned, like they feel like they should talk to someone, they should listen to music, or they should carry photographs of their loved ones so that they can watch them intermittently. And also one of my students said, she would like to prefer having a mirror in front of her, because she has this tendency to look into herself, right? Even I would love to do that, right? So looking yourself into the mirror while preparing, maybe it's like your own companion. You have your own companion alongside with you. Maybe that will also have some positive influence, right? So these are all miscellaneous things which I wanted to share with you. I will summarize all that I discussed so far before concluding the session, and before that I would like to take up the questions from you, right? So we have few comments. Definitely I'll try answering them, right? Yeah, just give me 1 second. Yeah, earbuds. Shivam, I'm not talking about earbuds. Earbuds are something which you place them for to avoid distraction, right? I'm not talking about earbuds. What do you call them? You have that wire, and like to listen music or to talk, right? You have these extensions placed in ear. I don't know, somehow I lose, and I don't get the term unless until someone helps me, or maybe spontaneously takes for me some time. It's not even Bluetooth headphones, maybe. Yeah, a sort of. Bluetooth is wireless, right? So what do you call the wired ones? The one with wire? Earphones only. Priyanka, yeah. Earphones, I was telling earphones, but I was not confident. Yes, it's earphones, right? And thanks for prompting. Okay. Just 1 second now. Yeah, earphones, ear cords, Bluetooth headphones, or whatever, right? Yeah. So once again, a very good evening, all of you. I'll just rush up through the comments and try answering them as soon as possible. It's already past 30 minutes. Apu, yeah, Apu, what should be the length of continuous study period and what should be the length of break and what to be done in break? Yeah, Apu, I hope I've discussed all that now. See, length of a continuous study period. See, as per many studies, we cannot see. Let me just ask you directly, Apu. Like you have a theory class, for example, in your college. So you have a theory class for a duration of 1 hour, right? So how long can you concentrate listening? At a stretch, I mean, can you concentrate the entire 1 hour and focus on the entire lecture? As per the studies, the duration, the duration to which we can concentrate at a stretch without any distraction ranges from 30 to 40 minutes. So what I feel personally is, even when studying or preparing, it's better if you follow this protocol of studying continuously for a duration of 30 to 40 minutes and then taking a 2 to 5 minute break, but not extensively, or but not extending more than 5 minutes, because again, if you extend your break by more than 5 to 10 minutes, there is a chance for you to get distracted again, right? So 2 to 5 minute break, and during break time, as I mentioned, right, you can talk to your loved ones, or you can watch photos of your loved ones, or you can listen to music, or you can snack, you can even drink, right? So you can just roam around, right? Even I feel like break in the sense, if I feel bored, then I just go around. Most of us do the same, right? We just walk around and then come back and sit and prepare, right? So you can follow this, right? So it all depends on your individual choice, Apu. Yeah. Kusum. Yeah, Kusum. So what is better after BDS, MDS or your clinical setup setting? Your clinical setup? I don't have any clinical setup. You mean a clinical setup? Okay, fine. Kusum, it's like MDS or clinics. Of course, you can even set up a clinic after MDS as well, right? Who said we shouldn't set up? See, Kusum, it all depends on your individual choice, right? Even after BDS, you can master many clinical procedures and you can succeed in life, right? So I know many of my friends and many of my seniors who have just completed BDS, and they have done extremely well in our profession, right? So it's not about the degree, but it's all about the interest. But if you feel like you should learn more academically, you should have sound knowledge in theoretically as well as practically in one specialty, then I would obviously suggest you to go for masters, right? You can complete your masters, and of course you can start your clinical practice after masters, right? It all depends on your interest. So try to find engage yourself in an activity and make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing, right? That's even more important, right? Yeah. Hari Krishna. Hi Hari. Hello sir. Since few days we are pestering with many thoughts and happenings, such as MDS seats are being vacant as many are not opting for PG due to lack of vacancy of jobs. That's true. Even I am coming across all such things. Even in the college I am working, or in many colleges which I am coming through, like through my friends and contacts. Yes, this is the scenario. This is the trend in thinking that's happening. That's true. But see, as I said, so let me just come back to your question again. See, as I said, leave about what's happening there, because yes, reality is very dim and it's very discouraging, Hari. But it shouldn't stop you from chasing your dream. Leave about what others say or what's happening here, because if you think that MDS seats are being vacant and if no one is taking up, even previously in Facebook group, one of our members was asking one question, like, why should we feel proud? I mean, we have a group proud to be dentist, right? So he was asking us, like, why should we feel proud when we don't have any jobs or when we don't have any opportunity to really earn well? See, I'm not saying that we don't have such problems. We do have such pestering problems, right, as you said. But what can we do? In the sense, you can't stay negative and pessimistic and hope for the best, right? So you have to be positive and optimistic from your side, right? The first thing. And the second thing, whatever you feel like you would be best at, then you should pursue that particular thing. If you feel like you're going to enjoy clinicals, then go into clinicals, learn as many procedures as possible and give your best. Or if you feel like you can fare well academically, then go for masters, learn much, right? You can even do PhD, if not PhD, at least masters, and then follow your own dream, right? So rather than complaining, rather than saying that seats are vacant, why should we feel proud of, we don't have jobs, we're not earning well, so what can we do? So just discussing these negatives and staying in that place isn't really going to help us, right? So we need to work, we need to have that clarity in what we have to do rather than the market dictating us. It's like a market outside, right? So it's like buying and selling seats, which is totally absurd and nonsense. Just don't buy that, just ignore all that. Reality is dim, but ignore that. In the sense, it's not that you should go blindly, you should know what the reality is, but keeping that in mind, you should plan your career accordingly, right? You should know like what you are going to enjoy, like clinicals, academics, or both, right? Depending on that, you give your 100%, you stay focused, make sure that you learn as many skills as possible and come out. And believe me, there is no deficiency or scarcity for skill, for people who have the skills, who have the required skills. So if you are really skillful, if you feel like you can do it, right, so obviously you are going to have a chance, and there is no point in just complaining like it's all negative outside, right? So you should come up, you should create a trend rather than blindly following the conditioned way of society's thinking, right? You should create your own path. That's what I personally feel, and that's what I'm trying to do, and I feel I'm doing it, and I still have a long way to do, right? Yeah. Rachna, hi Rachna. Sir, how to sit and study for longer time without getting stressed and bored? Rachna, it's like, see, I can understand your intensity, but it's not, as I said, it's not humanly possible to just sit like a robot, sit like this and study continuously, like, or scan books or something like that. See, we're all humans, like we all definitely feel stressed up, right? We all feel stressed up and bored. So as I said previously, just make sure that you divide time, right? You divide it, for example, study for 20 minutes or study for 30 minutes, take 2 to 5 minute break, right, as I mentioned previously, and then come back, right? So divide and then utilize your time more efficiently rather than sitting at the same place or just continuously studying. Some people boast like we're studying 4 to 5 hours continuously. I personally don't know like how it's possible, because I've seen many, and personally I don't think that's feasible. If that's feasible, that's fine, you can go ahead, study 4 to 5 hours, right? So but I feel you should not extend your preparation for such a long duration. 1 hour max, or 40 minutes maximum, or 30 minutes maximum. Take a break, make sure that you give the quality rather than the quantity, right? That's very important. So that's what Rachna I've been discussing all throughout the video, right? So I'll also summarize. If you have joined us now, I'll summarize all that we have discussed so far at the end as well, right? Yeah. Hare Krishna. So those who cannot able to afford to set up clinics, what are the options available for a BDS graduate as well as after MDS graduate? So Hare Krishna, it's not, yeah, options are available for a BDS graduate as well as after MDS. Yeah, it's not possible for everyone to set up clinic, right? Teaching is one such option, right? Or working in a clinic, that's a common pathways we have, right? You need more options, we'll definitely discuss over mail, right? So you can mail us Hari at proudtobedentist@gmail.com, right? It would be better if we can stick on to this topic which we are discussing today, right? Yeah, Hari, you can mail me at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. We'll have a discussion over there, right? Yeah. Or definitely we're going to do another live session on the career options, right? We'll definitely make a video on career options as well, and also we'll have a live session, right? Yeah. Earphones, ear cords. Yeah. Yes, Priyanka. Haha. Apu, sir, you mentioned your favorite song. Please, what is it? See, I don't have any intention to blame you, but see, Apu, if I say that's a problem we all have. When someone says that something is working for them, we feel like the same will work for us. No, it doesn't. It doesn't happen that way, right? See, okay, I'll just mention what my favorite song is, but I don't know whether you would like that or not, right? So last 2 to 3 months I became a great fan of Taylor Swift. So I have her entire album downloaded in my phone. So I love listening to her music, the Red album. So Taylor Swift, we have 1989 album, right? So the name of the album is 1989. I love all the songs in it, and also we have another album called as Red, right? So I love her songs, right? Video songs I usually listen audio, right? So I enjoy Taylor Swift songs, and also Shape of You, Ed Sheeran, right? So we have Ed Sheeran. So Shape of You is the one of the songs which I'm listening more often these days, right? And also all my native language songs. I'm a Teluguite, so I will listen to Telugu songs as well, right? So you can try them, Apu. You can try Taylor Swift. It's good. And if you have any good suggestion, you can just advise me. I'll try to follow it. Kusum, you're welcome, Kusum. Kumari, sometimes we are fed up, not able to concentrate at all. How to self-motivate? Yes, I just wanted to discuss that previously also, Kumari. Yes. So how to self-motivate? So we're talking about intrinsic motivation, right, Kumari? Just keep in mind, assume that you got a first rank, or you're going to get first rank in this year's NEET 2017 exam, right? So how would you feel, Kumari? Like when you get a first rank, how would you feel? First of all, how would your friends receive it? How would your parents feel, most importantly, right? So that kind of satisfaction comes only with this kind of positive thinking, right? So positive thinking drives you, initiates you, but once you really achieve it in the end, right? So life, there is no looking back, right? So once you achieve something, no matter in which stage you are, when you look back and look at your achievements, right, so you will obviously feel delighted, right? So this kind of thinking, this kind of positive thinking, this kind of intrinsic motivation, assuming yourself to be the topper in that particular exam, and how would you feel, how would your parents feel, and how would your teachers feel, right? So that used to drive me personally when I was preparing. I used to assume, and I used to just go ahead, right? So that provided me best intrinsic motivation possible, right? So, and also by believing in those, and also by following your ideal people, in the sense, like personally I have some idols like Jaiprakash Narayan, Dr. Jaiprakash Narayan, and many other people in my personal life, my professors as well. I look at them, I feel inspired, and I try to reach them, in the sense it's not possible to replace our motivation, inspirational idols, but if we try to reach them, or if we try to take that energy from them, that kind of positive energy from them, then obviously that keeps you self-motivated, right? And the best way, which I feel, is assuming that you're the topper for that respective entrance, right? So just dream big, even though it sounds crazy. You have to dream big and try to have that kind of self intrinsic motivation, and that is the key, right? That keeps you going, and that keeps you moving forward, right? Hope I answered your query, Kumari. Yeah. And you say people tell it's waste of time, it's waste studying non-clinicals. See, I have nothing harsh on those people, but whatever, if they are saying like that, if you listen to that kind of discussion, consider it as nonsense. They're talking in terms of market. They're talking in terms of the number of units. Where, you know what, outside clinic, it's like you have a target. You have this stupid target of doing X number of root canals. You have this stupid target of doing X number of crowns, X number of root canals, X number of OP, to gain more money, to grab more money. You forget about direct pulp capping. You forget about pulpotomies. You forget about conservative treatments. Most of the clinical practitioners have no hard feelings. Yeah, I think we're live again. Yeah, fine. I think I had some disconnection, right? Fine. So all nonsense going on, right? So when you see, if that's a scenario, if that's a market scenario, then obviously we feel like, yeah, studying non-clinicals would be out of context, but that's not true. Every subject, every specialty has its own importance, right? Every subject has its own beauty. There is nothing like endo is much better than oral path. There is no comparison at all, right? Each specialty has its own significance. The challenge lies in understanding that. We all assume that we understand, but we really don't. We feel like oral path, we don't get much money, so leave it. No, it's not the way. Every subject has its own importance, right? Non-clinicals you select, you can go into academics, you can go into research, you have a lot many opportunities. I've seen my friends doing well abroad in our country as well, right? So don't buy into that kind of discussion, right? Those who say non-clinicals are worth not doing, then it's a stupid discussion, right? You can just ignore that and don't buy that, right? So no matter which specialty you take, no matter which branch you're in, it all depends on the way in which you're oriented. Your perspective matters, not others' perspective, right? So having the right perspective, having the right attitude. Perspective again is guided by your attitude, right? Having the right one will help you succeed in life, rather than saying that you do endo, ortho, pedo, perio, you get more money. You do oral path, oral medicine, you'll get less money. That's a nonsense, right? Even with oral medicine and oral path, you can learn clinical. So you can learn clinical procedures. You can excel. I have seen many people, and I personally feel like I'm really inspired by one person. It's Dr. Sandesh Mayekar, Mumbai. He has done his masters in oral path, and he is considered as one of the best practitioners in terms of aesthetic dentistry. Have you heard of him, right? So we have many inspiring people. It's not about the specialty. Don't buy into that, right? Hope I answered your query. Even though it's out of the context of this topic for discussion, I felt like we need to have some kind of positive discussion over that topic. Yeah, Rachna, sir, being an intern within 4 months, can we crack GDC? Within 4 months, can we crack GDC? Yes, you should always aim high, Rachna. Like if you say like I should sign a document saying that yes you will get it, no, I can't sign a document. See, it's all like you should be confident in yourself first. Of course it's possible. Of course you can crack the entrance and secure seat of your choice in college of your choice, right? That's possible. That's humanly possible. If I could do it, if my friend could do it, if we can do it, if our seniors could do it, of course you can do it, right? So it's possible. But the thing here is you should be positive. As I said, you should have that huge dream. You should dream big, you should dream crazy, and go after that, right? And that itself will be a miracle, right? You will do well, right? It's possible. So be positive and give your best. And today I was talking to Alim, yeah, you know, right? Yeah, my friend Alim and our mutual friend Alim also. I was talking to him and I was asking him like, how is Rachna doing? He said, yeah, I'm talking to her often, and he said, you're doing fine. So glad to hear that. Keep that momentum going. There is no score. See, in life, I heard we all have problems, right? You have your own health problem. I can have my own health problem, right? We all have many physical, mental, psychological, or social problems, right? No matter what the problem is, the challenge lies in overcoming that problem and achieving a target. Once you do it, at least once in life you do it, Rachna, then you will have that enormous confidence which will help you reach many summits in life, right? Just keep that in mind, right? All the best. You're welcome, Hari Krishna. Yeah, Apu, sir, would a single year of preparation internship would be able to get us an MDS seat? Of course, yes. Of course, it's possible to secure MDS seat in first attempt. I've done a live session on this, and also we have one video on this, right? Cracking entrance in first attempt. Personally, I'm not boasting, but I have done it. Most of my friends, along with me, we were a group of 5 to 7 friends. We have done it, right? So in our first attempt, when I could do it, when my friends can do it, as I say, when seniors, when others can do it, of course you can do it, right? It's possible. Pooh, please make a live session on current questions trend for PG entrance. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely make a video on that. I'll consider that suggestion as well. Yeah, current trends on questions, like how the questioning pattern is and all, right? Sure. Okay, asking about that song was just, yeah, you're welcome, Apu. I mean, you can suggest me some good songs. Glad to follow them, right? Yeah, Kumari, how to do revision on daily basis, time for revision, how much MCQs. Yeah, we have been discussing the same one in most of my weekly schedule videos. You just open my weekly schedule videos, Kumari, like weekly schedule for anatomy and not for anatomy, weekly schedule for conservative and endo. I posted some videos, and in those videos I have discussed this. And to summarize that in brief, daily basis you can revise based on your weekly target. If you have a weekly target like to write an exam, or if you're planning to complete off a subject in 2 weeks or 1 week time, then obviously you can divide your schedule accordingly. Just watch my video on weekly schedules, then you'll have some idea like how many I've discussed there, like how much MCQs we have to do every day, how much time we should allot every day, and also how to divide a syllabus based on the subject at hand, right? So you can follow that, right? If you have any questions, you can mail me, Kumari, right? Yeah. Rachna, thank you. So you're welcome, Rachna. Shivam, I have read Sir Sandesh Mayekar book. Yes. Good, Shivam. What's the name of the book? Please let me know, because I haven't read that book, but I have one of my friend working with him, working under him for that matter, and also I've heard a lot positive about Sandesh sir, right? So you can just suggest me that book. I would happily go through it. Dental World, yeah, I've been doing that for the past 1 month. Dental World, in the sense I'm informing prior. See, every Wednesday and Saturday we're having these live sessions, and I've been sharing it on social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Twitter as well. So okay, I'm telling you now again, right? So every Wednesday, every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, we'll be having live sessions. So every Wednesday we'll be covering a subject topic, I mean MCQ discussions or any subject wise discussion, and every Saturday like today we'll be discussing a general topic, right? So we're doing 2 live sessions as of now every week. So you can just blindly follow that, and I'll of course prepare a schedule and then I'll share it simultaneously in social media as well, right? Yeah. So it's past 50 minutes. Yeah, 51 minutes. Okay, fine. Yeah, Hari, sir, is there any WhatsApp group to ask any query regarding any topic during preparation? No, Hari. Actually, we have WhatsApp groups, but that's related to PTBD. That's where we'll be having a general kind of discussion. But as such, we don't have a separate WhatsApp group for the MCQs or for PG orientation. We're planning to launch one soon. We'll launch one WhatsApp group soon, exclusively for sake of this kind of discussion, and I'll announce it and I'll let you know, right? So it takes a few months, right? We have one session going on, right? One schedule going on. We'll be completing that in the month of August. So from August, we're planning to launch that group, and definitely we'll intimate you all, and you can of course be a part of it. Hari? Yeah. Dental World, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do not have any WhatsApp group. If you don't have FB, I mean, if you're not following FB, you can of course subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? You'll be getting notifications, right? Whenever you have any live streaming or whenever you have any new video posted, right? So you can follow YouTube, if not FB, right? Yeah, you're welcome, Hari. Definitely, I mean, most of aspirants, students as well as general aspirants, they're asking for a WhatsApp group. We'll definitely launch it soon. It's not just opening. See, creating WhatsApp group, it takes less than a minute, but we need to address all your queries, right? So we need to address all your concerns as well. So when I feel like I'm ready, definitely I'll come up. Already we have groups, right? We have several groups, but they're all general groups, right? So exclusively for NEET MDS orientation, we'll launch one soon, and we'll work on it, right? Yeah. So any further questions? Sorry. Yeah. Okay, then in that case, I'll just before concluding, I'll just summarize all that we discussed so far, right? I'll just summarize, and then we'll conclude the session. So the topic for today's discussion is like designing your study room for enhancing your preparation, right? So the things which you can keep in mind and you can implement in your own style of preparing on a day-to-day basis. So make sure that you have adequate lighting, right? Have some food or snack items, some energy drinks, green tea, coffee, right? But tea, coffee, and all energy drinks, you have this problem of addiction, right? So just be careful. Make sure that don't consume that excessively. Study table and chair of ergonomic design. You should have an artificial lamp, a lamp for sake of if in case there is any issue with your normal ceiling light, then you can use it. You should have a provision for a lamp alongside with you. All textbooks arranged in a systematic pattern so that you'll have that convenience of picking them at will. Proper notes, different color pens, watch for time, keeping your mobiles at bay, away from you in accessible areas, right? That's important. So prefer an isolated place like library or even a personal room. So library, if you feel like it's not isolated, right? So we have a lot many, but since everyone is busy in their own preparation, then that's fine. But if you feel distracted, as one of my students said, you can face the table towards the wall, or you can prefer a different area altogether, right? So make sure that you have minimal distraction from the outside environment. Changing places to eliminate passivating effect, right? This is very, very important. Change your places of preparation repeatedly to eliminate that passivating effect. If you have this habit of writing timetables, you can flowcharts, timetable, diagrams, and all pasted on walls, inspiration quotes on walls, surrounding yourself with positive atmosphere and good companions for recitation or discussion, that would help. Site of bed, avoid the site of bed by removing your bed or cot from your room if possible, right? Because side of bed encourages you to sleep. Having adequate ventilation, table facing wall to avoid distraction, visual distraction, as I said. Relax intermittently by listening to your favorite songs, right? So you have different means, right? By listening to your favorite songs, by talking to your loved ones, by looking at the photographs of your loved ones, or you have numerous ways to relax. Or you can just roam around and come back and sit, right? Yeah. And make sure that your place is clean and tidy, right? So you just try this, and make sure that your place is clean, tidy, everything arranged well. Then obviously you will have that psychological relief, psychological satisfaction, right? Just try that once, right? And mirror in front of you as one of my students said. Yeah. So these are the things which I wanted to discuss, right, in designing your study room. As such, we are not architectural students to design something, right? We're just trying to rearrange things and make sure that we're sitting in places where we feel comfortable while preparing, right? And as I said, if it is one day before exam or 1 week before exam or even 1 or 2 months before exam, all this would be irrelevant, right? So no matter what the scenario is, you have to focus and prepare. But when you are planning to prepare for extended duration of time, for months together, then obviously you need to have a proper area where you sit and study, and you should have that clarity, like how you should actually arrange your study area to enhance your preparation, right? So that I followed personally, and I just enjoyed my preparation. I enjoyed changing my places and studying for few hours in this place, few hours in that place, few hours in my professor's clinic, like that way I used to entertain myself and keep myself on track, right? So obviously the things which I shared, I hope they'll be useful for all of you, right? Hari Krishna, you're welcome. Kumari, you're welcome. Kumari. Yes, Kumar, I'm talking about the weekly schedule for endo, and before that I even posted about weekly schedule for conservative dentistry, and also one previous video on weekly schedule tips, right? You can just refer these 3 videos as of now. You will have some understanding like how many MCQs you can solve and how to divide your schedule on daily basis based on your weekly targets, right? So that's it, friends. So it's already 60 minutes, around 60 minutes. So glad you all joined me live. So hope what all I discussed live, the tips regarding designing your study room would be of use, would be of immense help for you. and I hope they would enhance your way of preparation and fill you with positivity, right? So just give your best, be confident, and make sure that you stay focused, right? So being positive and having the right attitude always helps. And as I said, just wanted to repeat this one line again: having a disciplined approach and right attitude are the key, right? So be disciplined, follow a schedule daily in a systematic way on a regular basis, and see, if I can do it, if we can do it, of course you can do it, right? So you don't have that second thought, right? Once you are into it, you should be into it 100% without any ambiguity or lack of clarity, right? You should be clear, crystal clear, right? You're preparing, you give your 100%, have a disciplined approach, schedule, or if you don't have a habit of writing a schedule, just follow a regular rhythmic way of doing things, have a disciplined approach, and have a right attitude, hard work, and consistent performance. The moment I secured rank, I have written one article, and the same article I've made a video like tips for MDS preparation last year in January, right? So that's what I highlighted in those videos, and I'm trying to tell you the same here also. Hard work and consistent performance are the key, right? So you should be able to work hard, you should be able to work on consistent performance, not just for 1 day or 2 days or 1 week or 2 weeks. You should have that consistency. And as humans, we all feel depressed, often we feel depressed, and some negativity creeps in and we feel passivated. That times, just leave it, just leave whatever you're doing, just relax, take a break, 1 hour break, 2 hours break, 1 day break, 2 days break, but make sure that you come back bang on to the target, right? You should refocus yourself, right? So that's very important. And I feel once you're positive, then everything happens in a positive way. You give positive, you receive positive. That's nature's law, I believe in, right? You're welcome, Shivam and Arijit. Yeah, glad that you joined us live. You're welcome. We sing. Good evening, sir. Very good evening. Please guide regarding AIMS exam preparation, the do's and don'ts. Definitely, we'll do a live session on it. Sing. We'll have a separate discussion on that AIMS exam pattern, the do's and don'ts, and we'll discuss elaborately over there, right? So, lastly, tips to avoid procrastination. I usually have the habit, in the sense, like what exactly you feel. Like what exactly you feel. You can share some examples. I mean, can you give me one such example? Delaying, you mean to say preparation? Procrastination is like you'll be doing easiest things first, right? Yeah, Singh, we'll do it ASAP. Yeah, as soon as possible, sure. That's what, Hari. See, you can avoid that. We all have this tendency, right? Yes, that's true. We all have this tendency, but we can avoid that by having that kind of intrinsic motivation, right? So even competitiveness helps us to avoid that. So when you have your friends simultaneously, if you have some friends preparing along with you, like, so obviously you'll have some competitiveness, right? So some competition going on. So definitely that helps you to overcome this problem to some extent, right? And also intrinsic motivation definitely plays a key role in avoiding all these kinds of issues, right? Shri Yogi, yeah, you're welcome. Shubham, sir, I'm watching this video while procrastinating. In the sense, I didn't get you. You're watching this video while procrastinating. What does it mean? Shubham. So I would like to just conclude that by saying, see, you can avoid that kind of procrastination, or you can avoid delaying things, or see, first of all, try to understand that it's natural. Naturally, we have this, humans by nature, they're lazy. That's proven by science. Humans by nature are lazy. So we have this tendency to do easier things first. or we have this tendency to do less urgent things first, right? So that's procrastinating, right? So delaying things. So once you are motivated, once you have that sense of competition, then obviously there will be no room for procrastination, right? So just hope you understood what I'm trying to say. Sing means he is not studying, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe. Okay, Shubham. Sir, I can't tell more than that. Shubham, in that case, you can mail me. You can mail me at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. You can share your personal things as well. Like if you consider me as your friend or brother, of course you can share me. Then I'll definitely help you, giving you the right tips if at all you're willing to take it, right? Ajaj, you just joined. Hi Ajaj, we're just concluding Ajaj. So anyways, glad that you joined Ajaj. I suggest you go through the entire video once we conclude this session, right? So we discussed lot many things and I hope they'll be useful for you as well. Yeah, Kumari, yeah. Oh, you say watching your videos success mantra makes me study while I feel procrastinate. Yes. Yeah, you should have, as I said, intrinsic motivation, right attitude, sense of competition among your peers. That will help you avoid these things for extent. And as I mentioned before, following the people whom you adore most. For example, you love your teacher, or you have that respect for some people, right? So following them, following their ideas, and obviously that kind of extrinsic motivation will also help you avoid this kind of procrastination or this habit of procrastinating, right? Yeah, Singh, you can mail us at proudtobedentist@gmail.com and we'll send you the list. Yeah, Jaj, glad to know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, since most of you are saying that you feel procrastinated or you have this tendency to procrastinate things or issues, definitely I will come up with some ideas as well, right? With some ideas soon. When did you mail me, Singh? I mean, did you mail now? Because I never miss my mails. I almost reply everything within a span of 6 to 8 hours. Okay, do one thing. You just maybe you I mean, to which mail ID did you mail me? Just check out this mail ID. I'm commenting it here. proudtobedentist@gmail.com. Just drop a mail here. I mean, is it the same email ID to which you sent me a mail? Just check out, because few of the aspirants, they'll be sending mail to proudtobedentist.com, a dentist@gmail.com. I'll not be getting such mails, right? So our email ID is proudtobedentist@gmail.com, right? Just check your spam again, check your inbox once again, or you can just mail me once again now, right? We'll send you the list. Okay, yeah, so okay, shall we conclude? It's already past 1 hour. Okay, you got the reply but not the list. Okay, what's your email ID? Just send me your email ID now. I'll forward you the list. Okay, right. So in that case, yes, of course you can mail again. Yes, you can mail now. Okay, glad that you all joined me here right live. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you next live session next Wednesday. We'll come up with multiple choice questions discussion as well as some subject discussion. I'll post it on Facebook and WhatsApp in our conventional groups, and also I'll let you know soon, right? So next Wednesday 7:30 p.m. we'll have another live session, a subject wise discussion, right? Shubham, sir, can you tell about this hack dentistry videos? Hack dentistry videos, what is that, Shubham? I have no idea. Hack dentistry videos. Can you please elaborate? What is hack? What do you mean by hack dentistry videos? Oh yes, yes, yes. Sing. Yes, I got a mail from you long back. Yes, I replied you, but I didn't send you the list. I am forwarding the list now. Okay, you'll have the list in few minutes. Visesh Singh, right? And thank you for your positive feedback way back then, right? I was looking at the feedback. I gave you a reply, but somehow I lost it and I didn't give you the list. I'm sorry. Apologies. I'll send you the list now. I just checked now. I replied you, but I didn't send you the list. I'll do it now, right? Yeah, Shubham, you have any questions, you can mail me at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. We'll be happy to discuss over there, right? So, hope this session is useful for all of you, and glad that you have all joined me here live, right? So, all the best for your preparation, and keep smiling, and be confident and positive, and hope for the best, right? Hope for the best, leave the rest, and the best comes back to you, right? Yeah, you're all welcome, and a good night. Take care and have a pleasant sleep, and keep smiling, right? All the best. Bye.